Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Indian report for the 26th of June. So I don't have this market sorted out, but I do want to break down today what I know and what I don't know. So we can look at this move up through here as a 5-wave move up here, and we're going to break that down today. We could look at it as wave 1 or wave A, and ABC for wave 2 or wave B. And then this particular move up here can be counted as 1 and 2 in here, 3 here and 4 here. Now we know that this has dropped down quite sharply through here, but it hasn't overlapped wave 1 and it fits within the structure, so we can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here. In fact, it can actually have another little high here to come into play, and we'll be looking at that as well. The main point here though for me is that while this market is above 10,000, we really need to keep it on the positive side. So if it becomes the retested resistance, this area here, then we can look and explore bearish moves more so and be more confident in them. But today I just wanted to break this trend down here and yeah, just to show you how I've counted it, and then if anybody's got any opinions on that, then they can let me know. I know some folks have given me some opinions on things. I just haven't had a chance to check on them, all of them just yet. But I want to go through this today just on the 15-minute chart, and then I'll leave it at that point. So on the 15-minute chart here, I can count 5 waves up to this point here, and we can count this back here as corrective wave 2 here, and then moving up through here, counting all of this through here, I get 5 waves to this point here, then an A and a B and a C wave coming back into this point here. I have trouble with getting 5 waves out of this little move here, but I'm sure it's there. So if anybody's got any disagreements on that particular move there, then let me know. So we'll just call this the first impulse wave to the upside. Like I mentioned, we can call it wave 1 or wave A. It doesn't really matter at this stage. And it's pretty clear here that we've got an ABC correction at this point. So the next move comes in this particular structure here, moving higher here. So I could borrow some of these here, which is not such a bad idea. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, and I actually need to copy those. I need to leave those there because we'll need those again as well. So, yeah, this move from the low here, we'll have a look at that in a moment. I'll just put these in here. So the way that I've counted this up, and it's a bit dodgy, but it works, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and having the corrective move here, then looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to this point here as wave 1 here. Now that situation here brings in wave 3, which is really quite powerful. So we've got 1 and 2 in here. This is really the strongest part in the structure, so it's quite fitting that it is the third of the third of the third here, and then the fourth, and then the fifth wave to make wave 3, 4 and 5 here to make wave 3 here. Now I know that this is pulled down way beyond the 38.2% retracement level we were looking at through here. But it's okay. It doesn't overlap that. I mean, otherwise we're still short on a wave moving up through here. So yeah, so I mean, it is a bit of a problem, but it's probably the best fit that I can see at this particular point in time. And then we come to this particular move here, where this really should go over here. I count 5 waves moving up into this here, so I'm going to keep that there. And then I've got an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for wave 2 here. Now, you know, to count this here, that gets a little bit dodgy here, doesn't it? But as 1 and 2 over here for this, I mean, we're a little bit unsure about that, but you know, it is another weak. All of this is a weak spot here, and I still want to stay with the impulse wave to the upside. I still want to count it as an impulse wave. And then I count this up here as wave 1 and wave 2 into here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 into this space here for wave 4, and then wave 5 for 3 here. Then also, you know, this can be a wave 4 here. It's also deep, but it hasn't overlapped wave 1 here as well. So that's possible because this move up here hasn't finished, unless the only other point this could play out here is that if wave 4 comes in over here as a triangle pattern, and then we can have that 5th wave finished up there. So if anybody's got that and done work on that, well, then that would be good, and then we're finished at that point. But otherwise, this particular structure to the upside here is actually not finished. Now, if the market pulled back to, you know, under the 10,000, well, then we would need to obviously, you know, consider wave 5, copying this here, being sitting in here and actually completed at this stage. And, you know, we were looking at that yesterday as a possible scenario, and, you know, it's okay, you know. We do have this down here that can count as a bit of an impulse wave. So what I was thinking here, even though I don't have confidence in any of the counts that are going on here at the moment, it doesn't mean that we can't trade. It doesn't mean that you know, we can't look for setups and so on. We can have a look at this in a moment too, on the tick chart if you like. But the thing here is that the move down through here, this is the 50-60% retracement level here. So in a nutshell, if the market found support on top of the 61 0.8% here, and we'll gravitate over to the closest largest number as we should. If we get support on this level, then we can go long from that point, and we would need to see something like this here. So don't chase the first high above the level. You need to allow that to retest at that point, and then move in here. It's just a safer way to do it. So that's how we can handle the long side if we're going to be pushing up, and then we'll also look to add on top of the 500 there as well, if that's the case. And on the short side here, we just really need to go short under the 200 here. You could probably get that closer if this market trades up here. Then you could bring this here and move that up under this level here, the 300 at that point. But I know that if the 200, this is group 10,000 is a major trading level, then we've got 1, 2, and 3 here. I know that if we get support on top of the 300 here, then we're likely to go to the 500 at that point. So you could also go long at that point there as well. You would also need to see in here a classic trading levels pattern where if I can just use, it would still need the, let's just say we need the first high above the level, and when it comes back and retests here, then you can also go long from that point there as well. So we don't need that. Oh well, just need a short one in there. So we can go long on that point there. So you just got to don't overtrade it at that point because it may fail at the 61.8% mark. So we'll just make that half a position and possibly even take the money off the table at the 400 and wait for it to become support. So this move down through here, it looks like it's 5 waves into this point here, but I think it just needs a little bit more breaking down at this stage. So the way I was looking at it is that, let's just open it up a little bit. So it would be pretty well to say that we could look down here as wave 1 and wave 2 over to here, or even better still, wave 1 to here with an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 2. And then we can see that we've got 5 waves down to this point here. So we'd look at this as the third wave, ABC for the fourth wave, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here for wave 1 and 2. That's actually quite a nice fit for that. It's got the right look and feel about it at this stage. I mean, we could look at this as wave 1 down to here, then back for wave 2 here, but then we would have to treat this as wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 here, and straight away this third wave is too small compared to wave 1 here. It's okay long as wave 5 is shorter, but it's not. And then, so I think that we count this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to 1 here and 2 here, and then moving to the further down the track here. When we look at this here, we could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave maybe. And then the fourth wave here, and then the fifth wave here for that. But that gives us 5 waves down through to this point here. It could also be viewed too that it's a bit of a long shot, but it's possible that we could look at, if this is 5 waves coming down here, then we could look at this as an A, B, and C here for the B wave and down for the C wave here. So making it a corrective point at that stage there. I'd need to find the next degree up here. I don't have that, but an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and a C wave to here, but we haven't made a new low here, so it's a little bit hard to swing that in there. This is probably better looked at in terms of this here, not to do that in this case. I mean, I had to mention that because we've got to kind of talk about, you know, if the market continues to the upside. But otherwise, an A wave here, a B wave here, as an A, B, C here, and then moving up into this space here for this. And then, you know, having this here makes a good case for it fading at the 400 here and moving down. So that means that we can go short. We're talking about the 200 here. We could probably go short under this level here. So that's 10,230. So that there as support, as resistance, would also offer a short trade to the downside, just moving in a little bit closer here for that. It may not get triggered. So yeah, I mean, that's how I'm seeing things so far, but it still leaves me with where we are at the moment in terms of, so this could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for wave 4 here, and then we start working higher from that point. Like I said, you can go long on this level here and then onto 400. If we get support on 400, then we can move up from that point. We just got to be careful we don't fail from this point. If we're going to fail from this point here, then you can short under the 300 here once that becomes the retested resistance, and then look for any other short trade situations coming down into this point here for this. So yeah. It's Friday, so we're looking at the S&P moving higher, so this can certainly move higher and move through this box here. I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.